Today we trust, we overcome. Take every chain that kept us slaves and throw them off. We're not waiting for permission. We defy our inhibition. Like our middle name is fearless, unafraid. If we attack, we fight. Eagles, if we fear, we run. We will rise. We will go. By your spirit we go. If we're gonna stand, we stand as giants. If we're gonna walk, we walk as lions. We walk as lions. Today is ours. It's always been. Before we face the fight, we know who's gonna win. We live by faith and not by sight. We don't want safe and quiet. We don't want to run and hide. This is not an inhibition. It's a time that God invested. You already called us fearless, unafraid.
All right, y'all may sit down. You look kind of scared. What's wrong? You don't have to give speeches or anything here in a few minutes, do you? This is the quietest they've been all year. I'm just letting you know, this is not my normal 8th grade bunch of boys and girls. So, well, maybe my girls, just not my boys. So, all right. Well, thank you for being here tonight. We are excited to see and recognize our 8th graders and their accomplishments. I was thinking about you guys, and some of you, Samuel and Anna and Noah, I can remember when you were about this tall, 3-4-year-olds, and I was thinking about that was many years ago, and I was thinking about watching you guys when we would do the park, and we'd take money. No, I have this distinct remembrance of you running around like a crazy man, and it was pretty cute. Samuel, what I remember about you is I was teaching middle school at the time, and you came into my classroom, and you were telling me things about the history board that we had up in there. And so I was just thinking about those fun memories about you guys. And then I know some of you came along a little bit later, and it's been fun to get to know you as well. So tonight we're just going to celebrate your accomplishments. We are glad that we get to do that with you. Some of you are staying with us, which we're super excited about, and some of you are going on to Bolivar next year, and so we're super excited about that for you as well. We know that God has already purposed in your heart great plans for you, that you are rooted in the truth of His love, and you're going to do great and mighty things for Him. So tonight, I just want you guys to breathe, to enjoy the evening, and just let us celebrate you and your accomplishments, okay? So let's just open up. Mrs. Roller's going to come and open us in prayer, and then we will begin.
Well, thank you for coming tonight. Got to put the glasses on to recognize and honor these students as well as celebrate this milestone in their lives. Many of you have made a tremendous investment in them as their parents, grandparents, mentors, and friends. And what a great group of kids. You have so much to be proud of. Let's go to the Lord together and thank Him for His goodness. Lord, thank you for this group of young people. Thank you for the ways that you have worked in their lives, revealing yourself and your truth to them, and for the ways that you will continue to work in their hearts and lives. Thank you for the lessons that you have taught them and for continuing to shape them into the God-honoring young men and women that you desire for them to be. May all of your purposes for them be fulfilled, and may they glorify you in all that they say and do. I pray that this group of kids would be bold proclaimers of your truth in this world, and that they would recognize that you have put them on this earth during this time in history to fulfill your plans and purposes. Thank you for this school and for the things that you are doing here. May you be glorified in and through us and through this ceremony tonight. In Jesus' name. Okay, please draw your attention to the screen for this class's Then and Now video, and after that, students will present their speeches.
say before the lid just like you're dying, yeah. Wish I could say that's how I am, but I've been lying, yeah. Lying in my bed at night, one too many times I'm thinking, what if, what if? My biggest fear is waking up to find what matters is miles away from what I spent my life chasing after. Is my story gonna have the same two words in every chapter? What if, what if? But last I checked, this heart inside my chest is still beating. Well, I guess it's not too late. What if today's the only day I got? I don't wanna waste it if it's my last shot. Oh, no regrets in the end. I wanna know I got no what if. I'm running till the road runs out. I'm lighting it up right here, right now. Oh, no regrets in the end. I wanna know I got no what ifs, yeah. See, I refuse to be a shoulda, woulda, coulda been. I can't go back in time, I don't have a DeLorean. What I'm trying to say is I don't wanna say these words again. What if, what if? But last I checked, this heart inside my chest is still beating. Well, I guess it's not too late. No, no. What if today's the only day I got? I don't wanna waste it if it's my last shot. Oh, no regrets in the end. I wanna know I got no what ifs. I'm running till the road runs out. I'm lighting it up right here, right now. Oh, no regrets in the end. I wanna know I got no what ifs. I'm gonna dream a little bigger, burn a little brighter, stand a little taller, closer to your fire, dig a little deeper, reach a little further, love a little harder. I'm gonna dream a little bigger, burn a little brighter, stand a little taller, closer to your fire, dig a little deeper, reach a little further, love a little harder. 'Cause what if today's the only day I got? I don't wanna waste it if it's my last shot. Whoa, no regrets in the end. I wanna know I got no what if. I'm running till the road runs out. I'm lighting it up right here, right now. Oh, no regrets, no. In the end, I wanna know I got no what ifs, yeah. Oh, whoa. I wanna know I got no what ifs. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I wanna know I got no what ifs. I woke up with a broken heart in my chest. I couldn't sleep, couldn't get no rest. Weighed down by the heaviness of life. And I try to shake it, flipping through my phone, but all it does is make me feel more alone. How could anything that feels so wrong be right? 7 billion voices separate us, but only one can show us who we are. We are made in the image of, made in the image of God. Beautiful shades of love. We are made in the image of, made in the image of God. That's where the light comes from, yeah. We all need the same medicine. We all need another second chance. There's no first in line at the foot of the cross. Father, forgive me. made in the image of God. Yeah, we are made in the image of God. Beautiful shades of love. We are made in the image of God. That's where the light comes from, yeah. That's where the light comes from, yeah.
My name is Nora Fuller. I have attended Polk County Christian School for about 3 years now. I'm a very active person. I love going to the gym and running, especially in the summer. I also love to learn. I've recently discovered that learning is truly a blessing, not just something our parents force us to do. It prepares us for the future, and the more a person enjoys learning, the more they appreciate that God gave us the ability to learn. Through Polk County Christian School, I have gained an understanding that God is the true maker and that we exist for our purpose. Polk County Christian School has truly prepared me spiritually and academically for the future, while giving me a spectacular foundation for the early stages of young adulthood. As I walk through the grounds of this very school, I am reminded of a timeless truth found in Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. So, we may not always know what we want, where we will go or be, or what general path we will take. But we can always trust that God's plan is being set into motion, even if we do not recognize it. Today we celebrate not just the end of 8th grade, but the accumulation of countless hours of hard work, determination, and resilience. Each one of us has overcome obstacles, faced challenges, and emerged stronger because of them. Whether it was getting a feel for a difficult subject, conquering stage fright during a presentation, or simply finding the courage to be ourselves, we've all grown in ways we could have never thought possible. So, to my teachers, my parents, and to everyone who has helped me along the way, thank you. Thank you for believing in me, for inspiring me, and for helping me to become the best version of myself that I could possibly be. Your dedication and sacrifice has definitely not gone unnoticed, and I will strive to make you as proud as I can as I embark on the next chapter of my life.
My name is Samuel Kilpatrick, and I've been going to PCCS since I was in preschool. I live here in Bolivar with my parents and my dog. In PCCS, I've enjoyed the privilege of doing cross country and basketball in middle school. I also enjoy other sports such as soccer and baseball. One of my favorite things to do is to go fishing with my friends Andrew and John. Without PCCS, I never would have met them. PCCS has meant so much to me over the 10 years that I've been here. I've met many good friends and classmates. In that time, I've learned about both academics and God. It was in my time at PCCS in 2nd grade that I came to know the Lord and was baptized. Because of PCCS, I've grown spiritually and academically in ways that prepare me for whatever God has to do. Over the years of PCCS, I made a lot of memories. Some of my favorites are the basketball games and tournaments. Other memories come from the times we went on service projects, such as in Mrs. Wright's class, when we helped with Share Your Christmas, and when we went on our mission trip this year. One of my favorite Bible verses is Proverbs 9:10, which says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." This verse applies to my time at PCCS, as I have been taught about how following God is the most important thing for us and how we can trust in Him. I have grown in my faith and have truly been equipped and prepared for what God's will is in my life. I would like to thank my parents, grandparents, and other family members for supporting me throughout my time here at the school. I would also like to thank all the wonderful teachers I've had over the years for all they have done for me and my classmates. Thank you all, and God bless you.
My name is Annie Everson. I've attended PCCS since preschool. I enjoy being a part of volleyball and basketball, and even the 1 year that I ran cross country. I'm the third child out of 4 in my household. All of my siblings have attended PCCS, and one still does. I enjoy playing sports, hanging out with my family and friends, and baking desserts. PCCS is like a giant family to me. Everyone is a friend, whether you like it or not. Every year that I have attended PCCS, I've learned so much. I've grown spiritually, and learned to trust God, my family, my friends, and most importantly, God. The most impactful memory was when we went on the mission trip this year. We traveled up to Kansas City to serve at Maywood Church. Serena Maywood humbled my heart and made me realize that I was so blessed to have attended a PCCS and build a strong foundation for my relationship with Christ. James 1:5 is one of my favorite verses. If any of you lacks wisdom, just ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. I've needed wisdom in many situations, especially in making big decisions in my life. God was there and guided me to the right path. I want to thank all my teachers for helping me through schoolwork and with my walk with the Lord. I also want to thank the coaches for pushing me to be a better teammate and helping me accomplish my goals. And a special thanks to my parents for sending me to PCCS. I wouldn't be who I am today without them.
My name is Gideon Walker, and I have been going to PCCS for 7 years. I like to go fishing with my friends and play basketball with them too. I also like to play video games with my siblings and friends. My siblings' names are Micah, Ben, and Olivia Walker. PCCS has been a huge influence in my life because of its deep Christian environment. I think Christian education is important because it prepares me for the path ahead, and I can also be a light to others and teach them what PCCS has taught me. A really valuable lesson that I have learned is that God will help you in any situation, whether it may be as small as an ant or as big as a mountain. He is always there for you. Some memories that I will cherish from PCCS are the mission trip experiences. My favorite memory is when we had a gathering time with our individual groups that we were assigned to. We were supposed to talk about what we had learned from the devotion that we had listened to that night. When we shared about our struggles and hard times, and you could feel the sense of unity between the 4 people in that room, it was truly amazing. My favorite Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. The plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. This verse reminds me that God has not forgotten about me and that the Lord has plans for my future. I thank my parents for sending me to PCCS and raising me with the Bible and the biblical worldview. I also thank the teachers for teaching the Bible and also giving us knowledge about the Bible to prepare us for the path ahead.
My name is Linnea Caldwell, and I have attended PCCS since I was in 2nd grade. My favorite thing about school is art class. I enjoy reading novels, drawing, writing stories, baking desserts, and watching movies. I have 2 loving parents, a brother, 9 chickens, and 3 indoor cats. Christian education here at PCCS is important because it teaches valuable principles about God and man. I am a Christian and have learned that it is important to study His Word and seek His heart. PCCS has prepared me for the future by training me in a biblical worldview. My favorite memories from PCCS are participating in art with Mrs. Abbott, especially this year, with only Anna, John, and Gideon. I also enjoyed being in my mom's 4th grade class. My favorite Bible verse is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. It reminds me that God has a purpose for me and will work all things out for good. I want to thank my mom for constantly helping me study and understand my homework. I thank my dad for being my pastor and putting up with me. I thank all my teachers for teaching me to see through a biblical worldview.
Hello, my name is John Van Horbeek, and I've attended PCCS for 6 years. In my free time, I love playing soccer, fishing, playing basketball, and spending time with my friends and family. PCCS has meant so much to me over the years that I've attended here. I've had amazing times with both my teachers and my friends. I've gained much valuable wisdom given to me by both my teachers and friends. Having a Christian education lays a solid foundation for when we go into the so-called real world so that we will be able to defend ourselves against the devil's temptations. That's what PCCS has definitely done for me. It has taught me to always trust in the Lord and not to rely on myself to fix the troubles that I have in my life. I should not be afraid of what the future will bring because God is always there for me. I've made many memories at PCCS. In Mrs. Shellnammer's class, on the first day of school, Mrs. Shellnammer gave us this juice she liked to call jitter juice, and being as clumsy as I am, I knocked it over and spilled it all over my work and my desk. Being a new student, it was very embarrassing. Mrs. Shellnammer also taught a lesson on the gift of salvation, and the next week I decided to let Jesus in my heart and was saved. That by far was my favorite memory. Another memory was when a couple of my friends and I started a small worship team on a mission trip and I had about 30 minutes to prepare. It was a little crazy initially, but we did in the end sound pretty good. My favorite Bible verse is 1 Corinthians 13:4-8, which says, "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, and it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, and it does not keep records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." These verses have taught me to be humble, because if I'm not humble, then it is not being loving to my brothers and sisters in Christ around me. It has also taught me to be less selfish and to put others before myself. It has taught me to be kind to everyone around me as well. Finally, I would like to thank all my teachers for not only putting up with me, but also being there for me every day. I would like to thank my mom and my dad for pushing me to be the best version of myself that I can be. And finally, I would like to thank all my friends for being loyal, amazing, loving friends.
My name is Noah Kaufman, and I've attended PCCS for 11 years, and I enjoy playing basketball in my free time and hanging out with friends. Many of my classmates have come and gone over the years, but this group is my favorite. I love them all, and they are enjoyable to be around. Thanks for being my friends. PCCS holds a special place in my heart. Outside of being at home, I'm usually here. I love this school because of its Christian-based education. My relationship with God is the most important thing in my life, and this school has taught me how to be a godly man of integrity. PCCS has discipled me to show the light of Christ to everyone I meet. I will always remember my 5th and 6th grade years with Mrs. Wright. Every day, I would come in with a smile on my face, even if things weren't going well, because I knew I had my friends to be there for me. Mrs. Wright really helped me to understand how to be a godly man. Another memory that holds a special place in my heart was this last basketball season. I knew at the beginning of the season that I wouldn't play as a Knight again, but my friends helped me to make the most of it and just go out and have some fun. The last game I played as a Knight was very special. There was something in the air that I knew we weren't going to lose, and we won. But after the horn went off, I looked over at Lucas, and he was walking over to me crying. We were both so happy to win, but also so sad to part ways. We embraced and did a jersey swap with tears in our eyes and said our goodbyes. That experience really reminded me how special this school is and how the people are. My favorite Bible verse is Joshua 1. It talks about God commanding the Israelites to not fear because he's on their side. This verse really speaks power to me whenever I read it. It makes me realize that I have power of the living God on my side, and I don't have to fear anything. And now, paper's kind of bad. I just want to say thank you to my parents for sending me to this school, for all my teachers and classmates for being there for me, and most importantly, thank you to God for putting me in the place where I could learn and grow in His Word. And now I just want to end with one saying that I'll never forget. Once a Knight, always a Knight.
I'm so sorry. It's my boy's bedtime timer, so sorry. Forgot I'm not at home. Okay, so at this time, we're going to be honoring all of our 8th grade graduates. We're going to be presenting them with their 8th grade completion certificate, their character award, and honor roll. Also have some extra awards thrown in that got handed to me last minute, so we will announce those as well. Linnea Caldwell, daughter of Chad and Cheryl Caldwell. She is receiving her 8th grade completion. She's also receiving the All-A honor roll. She got the Meticulous Character Award. And she also has the first place Art Excellence Award for the art show. She did not know this was getting handed to her tonight. So she also gets a first place medal. Anna Everson, daughter of Quentin and Deborah Everson. She is getting her 8th grade completion, an All-A honor roll, and she gets the Consistent Character Award. Nora Fuller, daughter of Jack and Jonalyn Fuller. She's getting her 8th grade completion. She has the All-A and B honor roll certificate, and she gets the Authentic Character Award. Noah Kaufman, son of Chris and Christina Kaufman. He is getting his 8th grade completion award, his All-A honor roll. He got the Enthusiastic Character Award. And then I am also presenting his Math Olympics awards. He competed in divisionals and got first place. So you have a first place medal. He also competed at the national level, and the national level had students around the world that were competing in the Math Olympics as well. And he got 5th place in his division. Okay. Samuel Kilpatrick, son of Ben and Shelley Kilpatrick. He's getting his 8th grade completion. He has the All-A and B honor roll, and he has the Decisive Character Award. John Van Hornbeek, son of Bill and Tammy Van Hornbeek. He is getting his 8th grade completion. He is getting the Personable Character Award, and he also got 2nd place in the art show, so he's getting that award tonight as well. Gideon Walker, son of Pete and Laura Beth Walker. He's getting his 8th grade completion, and he is being given the Giving Character Award.
Hi, I am Miss Patterson. And for the last 2 years, I've had the privilege of being these guys' science and Bible teacher. And last year, we got to study God's living creation together, from the tiniest cell to the biggest animal. And they may remember me getting super excited about the complexity of plants and how photosynthesis and respiration are opposite of each other, and they complement each other in the circle of life. But I better stop now before I go overboard on plants again. We also learned about the classification of animals. And remember how I told you that God put over 30,000 different types of worms on the earth? Which leads me to this year. We studied earth science, including how God literally keeps the inside of the earth turning with the rock cycle, the intricate movements of the planets, and we also studied and have a little bit better understanding of just how far away the stars are. May you never forget that light travels at 9.46 trillion miles a year. More than just being your science teacher, I was honored to be your Bible teacher as well. but not just in Bible class, but throughout the whole day. And in the last 2 years, we did study Romans, Acts, and Proverbs. And we also frequently talked about how much our Creator loves us. As it says in one of my very favorite verses that I've shared with you before in Romans 5:8, but God shows his love for us in this, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And I hope that our time together in the last 2 years have impressed upon you just how immeasurable and impressive our Creator is. And not only that you know he loves you, but that you have also have deepened your love for him. Finally, as we say our goodbyes, my advice for you comes from Proverbs 8:17. Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them. So continue to grow your love for Jesus and keep his commands. I know, it's simple to say. But I challenge you to be committed to the Lord, even when your feelings or your heart may lead you astray. So now for my goodbye. I will always treasure the time that I was able to spend with each and every one of you. Know that I will miss you and that I'm proud of you.
So I had an irrational fear growing up of a certain 8-legged creature, and I was pretty petrified of spiders. So it was not uncommon that if there was a spider sighting in my house, it would result in varied degrees of panic, frantic yelling for help, and even tears. So you may or may not be able to relate to an irrational fear like that, but we all have fears. And the question I want to ask you tonight is, what do you fear? Because answering that question has a major influence on the choices that we make. Our actions are often a result of our fear. In college, I had planned to go camping with friends, but when I got to the campsite, I saw a huge spider on a tree by the tent. And because of my fear, I decided not to sleep in the woods that night. Fear influences our behavior. And this was true for the Israelites too. If we go back in the Old Testament, and we can see how God rescued the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. And the Israelites, who were God's chosen people, they had a front row seat. They got to witness firsthand God's powerful miracles and the plagues and the parting of the Red Sea. But by chapter 32 in Exodus, listen to what God says about the Israelites. He says, they have turned aside quickly out of the way that I commanded them. Why would the Israelites of all people turn aside and so easily from the Lord after everything they had seen? Well, if you go back to verse 1 of that same chapter, it explains they saw that Moses delayed coming down from the mountain. And it was after this that they called on Aaron for them to make a God-like substitute. They turned to a golden calf for fear that the true God was not going to show up again. They feared that he wasn't going to provide, protect, or satisfy them like he had before. And the Israelites are not alone in that. As we looked at in world history this year, many ancient civilizations created deities and idols that were driven by fear. People feared famine and barrenness, so many pagan gods were associated with weather, rain, and fertility. Instead of trusting the true God, they turned to false idols, just like the Israelites had. But we would be mistaken if we called all of that ancient history as if it no longer applies to our modern world, because we do the same thing. Fear still drives our behavior. And when we have a healthy, good fear of the true God, it drives us to obedience and submission and joy in him. But when we fear other things, it leads us to sin and idolatry. When we fear things like rejection, failure, isolation, embarrassment, or missing out, if we fear those more than the Lord, it impacts our thoughts and actions, and we'll end up in the same place that the Israelites did. We have to keep our fears in perspective. Now, fortunately, I've overcome arachnophobia, and I still don't like spiders, but at some point I realized I'm bigger than they are. And all I have to do is step on them, and any threat is immediately eliminated, and that shape is squished beyond recognition. Now, that realization, though it should have been obvious from the start, helped to put my fear into perspective. Now, I know that we're in the month of May, but I'm going to use the Christmas story to help put our fears into perspective. Starting with Zechariah, he was the father of John the Baptist, and the Bible says that he was righteous and walked blamelessly. So this is a good, godly man, but he has this dramatic encounter with an angel, and it says that he was troubled and fear fell upon him. And the angel responds, "Don't be afraid." Fast forward to Mary, who God had chosen to be the mother of Christ. She has a similar response when the angel Gabriel appears to her. And she's troubled, and he says, "Do not be afraid." When the angels appear to the shepherds in the field, they are filled with great fear, as would I be, and the angel says, "Fear not." Now, if you flip back into the Old Testament, into the book of Isaiah, Isaiah was a prophet, and he made many prophecies about the Christ who was to come. There's a description of a vision Isaiah has of the throne room and of seraphim. And his response to all of that is, "Woe is me," which is a phrase associated with despair. Here's the point. Angels are terrifying. That's why their first words are often along the lines of, "Don't be afraid." So if an angel were to come in here right now, we would probably all fall down in fear and despair. But they are just angels. God is even more terrifying. He is greater, mightier, and holier than them. Here's where we can put our fears into perspective. Go back to Exodus 33, and God says to Moses, "You cannot see my face, for man shall not see me and live." The sight of angels invokes terror, but the sight of God invokes death. That should put our fear of missing out into perspective. Just like I realize I'm bigger than a spider, we have to realize that God is far bigger and far more dangerous than any of our fears. We're not going to like it when people ignore us, when we're not invited and we're not accepted. But God should be more terrifying than not fitting in or failing. Although it should be obvious, we so easily forget that or miss it entirely. He can obliterate a threat and shatter any fear beyond recognition. He will provide for our needs and satisfy us to the fullest. We don't have to turn to a golden calf for fear he's not going to show up. We can turn to him and fear him and obey his commands. Now remember the Israelites at the time of the golden calf, they were embarking on a new journey in the book of Exodus. They had been in bondage for nearly 400 years in Egypt. And this was a new chapter in the Israelite story. They were turning the page and heading to a new land, and they had the promise, provision, and protection of Yahweh. With so much to look forward to, Exodus could have been a whole book devoted to rejoicing, praise, and celebration. But remember what the Lord said about them? They turned aside quickly out of the way that I commanded them. They feared the wrong things. 8th graders, you too are embarking on a new journey. This chapter of middle school is coming to a close, and you are turning the page to begin your final stretch before adulthood. High school is just around the corner, and with Yahweh's promise, provision, and protection, what the rest of your story looks like and what God will say about you depends on how you answer the question, what do you fear? I will leave you with the words from Joshua 24:14. Now therefore, fear the Lord and serve him in sincerity and faithfulness. God bless.
All right, 8th graders, why don't you stand? And in a moment, we're going to applause one more time, but in our applause, we're going to thank God for what he has done in your lives, what he's doing in your lives, and what he's going to do continually in your lives. He has several of you used the verse, or had the verse in your speech, that about how God has a plan and a purpose for you. And we absolutely can see that and know that, and we're so excited at what he has in store for you. So let's go ahead and just thank God for these amazing kids and for what he's doing in their lives. One more hand. Yay. Okay, and then I want you all to turn around and look at all these people here, and I want you to remember that we are for you, and every person in this room wants to see you walk with the Lord, and we just encourage you to keep your eyes fixed on him, and I encourage you to be lifelong learners, and I encourage you when you're struggling, when you need advice, counsel, these are your people, okay? This is your tribe. And so just want to remind you as you're looking into their faces of the investment that they've made in you, and that they continue to be in your corner. Okay, so now turn around towards me again. And I'm going to actually read a blessing from Scripture over you and over all of us. And then after that, please stick around to congratulate them, everyone. Students, stay up in this front area so that we can come congratulate you. And I'm sure some parents will want pictures of the whole group, so just plan on that as well. Okay, I'm going to read this blessing from Numbers 6, verses 24 through 26. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance on you and give you peace. Amen. All right, thank you all for coming tonight. Come on up. You guys can come on up. For sure, I know I want it. But I'm